All right, it's glowing. This only took about an hour to fit in this Antec 302 case. You can see I have a bunch of hard drives. This is literally to the edge. This spares no margin, basically. I have the shroud abutting the metal, but I had to reroute some of my cables back into empty space so it doesn't go between this area. I think I still have a SATA that runs over here. Hopefully that doesn't melt or anything like that. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm gonna loop that up here. Hey Dave, can you give me a light? All right, let's make sure that this all looks fine in there. So you can see I had to reroute all that bundle of wire above the graphics card. It runs, unfortunately, right over my my SATA lines right back there. This takes 3 power connectors, which are now going in underneath here. And you know what? This bracket is so tight that this 2.5 slot card barely positions itself flush with my slots of my case out here. So that DVI out, or I'm sorry, this is a not a DVI, but one of those DisplayPort outs, is basically riding on that frame just because the positioning is so tight that they actually have the cutouts. I had to wiggle it a little bit more to get it kind of flat and level. Now another thing that I learned about was this bracket. I guess the card itself in a vertically mounted case like this is so heavy that they actually have an auxiliary bracket that just mounts across any slot. But what it is, it's a metal, right here, it's a metal bracket that basically allows the card to gently rest on this bracket so the card, I guess, doesn't sag over time or whatnot. So right now I've put this in my PCI Express first slot, but in other case it's gonna be hard pressed putting any series of these cards in there because it does take at least 2.5 slots. If you can use this bracket to kind of mount it up there, well, that eats up that slot. Fortunately, the bracket can mount over the screw, so I have like a USB extension card there, and that should be fine. Hopefully everything boots up. Looks like we booted up just fine. I didn't pull too many plugs here. But let's give this a whirl. Maybe we can take a look at the ray tracing demo. You can see there's fancy lights. This is a colorful case. Some people might be drawn to that and a lot of that color graphic stuff. I'm going to end up turning it off just because it lights up the room. And I usually leave the computer on at nighttime as a server. So yeah, for what that's worth, you got a colorful LED lighting effect here. And a whole lot of no more space. Just as a comparison, Dave, I'll have you hold this for a second. Just as a comparison, to give you guys a little perspective, this used to be a 1080 card. Sorry, this is a 1080 Ti card, and this, just by comparison, had about an inch of wiggle room toward the edge of the frame. This one literally abuts the edge of this chassis for the hard drive in this Antec 302 case. So, just for your reference, this is a very large card. All right, let's check out how it actually performs.